What's going on, Dodgers Nation? This is the third edition of our DN Roundtable, a new series that we're doing featuring all of our writers, friends, family, whatever you might imagine for all of us. You guys know all these guys, but I'll introduce them anyway. If you don't know me, you don't watch enough of our stuff. My name is Brooke, co-host of the Blue Heaven podcast. We do it every Monday night. Check us out. Over at the end of the table is my other co-host, Clint Pasillas over there. Blue Heaven, check us out. We're fun. We talk about moms a lot. To my right, we got the host of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast, Eric Yulo. Check him out on YouTube as well.
The original.
And Doug. Everybody knows Doug. He needs no introduction. Face of the franchise. You guys love him, appreciate him, and we appreciate you, Doug. Thanks for coming out and not big leaguing us. We appreciate you for that. Guys, we are 11 games into the season. 11. We're playing our 12th right now, I believe, as this is being filmed. So we'll act like that didn't happen, and none of these stats actually matter for that game. But there are some early concerns with individual players, and we're going to address them because this is the negative DN Roundtable. That's what I'm calling it. It's going to be real bad. I'm hosting it. So let's talk about some of those things. Mookie Betts, historically, a slow starter. I said that. We've talked about it a lot. Historically, a slow starter, but he's off to a horrendous start this season. Dave Roberts had said before the season started that he expected him to be in the NL MVP conversation, and if that's the case, everybody in the league must be dead right now. So, with that being said, at what point do you start to worry about him? At what point will he bounce back? Will he bounce back? And Doug, no better way to start this off than you.
Do I think he'll bounce back? I absolutely do think he will, but his start this season, when you look at his numbers, his exit velocity, his barrel percentage, if you look how he's fared against fastballs, this is a player that has mashed fastballs throughout his career. This year, not having as much success against heaters. He's chasing fastballs outside the zone. We were watching the game today. It was nice to see him get a hit early on. Only 2 extra base hits so far this season for Mookie Betts. And he's a guy at the top of the lineup that's supposed to be the tone setter. He's supposed to get on base and really be the catalyst for this Dodgers offense. And I just want to see more slug from Mookie Betts and just a little more of a consistent approach at the plate because we're just not seeing the hard contact like we need to see from him early on. Like I said, 0 barrels so far for Mookie. Just does not look like he's gotten comfortable and found a rhythm at the plate so far. But do I think he'll bounce back? I absolutely do. On the post-game show, what we've been saying is we're calling him Marcus until he earns the Mookie name back. So we're going to be calling him Marcus until he starts playing like Mookie again. But will he bounce back? I absolutely do think he will. Look, if you remember the 2020 season, he got off to a slow start, and then he caught fire, and he finished second in the MVP voting, and he led the Dodgers, or helped lead the Dodgers to a World Series championship. So Mookie Betts, he's going to put in that work. You know the commitment he has and the talent he has is the most important thing. So I absolutely do think that we're not going to be calling him Dookie Betts or Mookie Bust at any point during his Dodgers career.
Mookie Butts. Mookie Butts.
Sounds like a Simpsons character.
Dookie Butts.
Yeah,
actually, that's what it is. 2020 season, Mickey Mouse season doesn't count, guys. We all know that. If you watched him against Kenley Jansen, it's about everything you need to know about how his season's going. Clint, you're always so positive.
Yes.
So I'm gonna turn to you and say, hey, what's gonna happen? What do you expect from him?
With Mookie?
Yeah.
Look, this is a guy who was my MVP pick going into the season. So far, I'm looking like a dumbass. That's par for the course. Let's be real. I think he spent way too much time in the offseason golfing, bowling, doing too many things, maybe not putting enough hacks in. Of course, you don't need to be showing it on Instagram to be proving that you're doing it. But this is Marcus Lynn Betts. This is MLB. They named the sport after him. This is my Jerry Harrison segment, by the way. He's going to figure it out. That's what he does. But I do agree, and I've seen some comments on our lovely YouTube channel. Maybe my dude needs a couple of days. Give him a blow. Just let him be in the cage. Let him work with Austin Barnes. Noted.
There you go.
Hey, listen, he's a noted Mookie Betts swing savant. Let him figure it out.
I'm just really glad you're not one of the people that's like, eat a cheeseburger. It's going to help you.
No,
and it's like,
I'm not.
there's a lot of guys who eat cheeseburgers around this league. They're not doing too hot.
Low of me?
No. I just wanted to make sure. We were all aboard the Cody Bellinger haircut train because we had nothing else left. We had nothing else to hope for. Speaking of struggles, though, keeping on that same vein, Max Muncy. He doesn't look all that hot either right now. There are some peripheral numbers that tell you that he's trending up. There are some things that you do like to see out of him, but overall, hitting 139, not a lot of power, not barreling things up, just like Mookie, who has 0 barrels leading into this game today. 0 in 30 batted balls. Has not barreled 1 ball, by the way, just to add that in. But things about Max to like. Same question, but a little bit different. Is that elbow healthy enough? Did they kind of bring him back too soon? Did they not give him enough time from a torn UCL? Eric, what do you think about that?
I don't think they gave him enough time. At the end of the day, it's up to him, and I respect that he wanted to start the season. He didn't want to make any excuses, much like Mookie Betts coming off kind of a weird spring training. I don't think he's all the way there, but, I mean, the great thing with Max is that – sorry, Muncy, I don't actually know him. I shouldn't call him Max. The great thing with him is his ability to see the ball out of the pitcher's hand is still incredible, elbow or no elbow. That's why you see the on-base percentages. That's kind of what keeps him alive. So I think he rushed back a little bit, but I think we'd probably play the other side of the fence if he wasn't playing and saying, why is he playing? But I don't think enough was made about his elbow injury. I mean, that's a huge injury.
One thing that I was surprised to see is that he's playing the field as much as he is. I thought very early on they would go DH pretty much every game with him. That has not been the case. JT is also old, so we need to keep that in mind. Doug, looking at Max Muncy, what do you see? What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you not like?
I mean, to echo what you said, when it comes to the walks, we call him Max Muncy for a reason, the way he does see the fastball. And the walks are there. But like you said, the hard contact isn't there. Really just not getting behind balls and driving balls like we've seen when he gets hot. But he's a guy that he also got off to a slow start last season. And then he became a fringe MVP candidate, led the Dodgers in home runs. And I think that he was one that we expected to get off to a slow start. The M&Ms are really struggling, Mookie and Muncy, to start the season, and those are both guys that had injuries last season. You had Mookie, he had the injection just to stay on the field last year, and then that injury that Muncy sustained in the last game of the season, we're all shocked that he's even in there this early. You mentioned him playing in the field and having that positional versatility in the infield. That's encouraging, but I think Max Muncy, it's about just getting that timing right and just continue to get those reps in. He has been The peripheral numbers, like you said, are trending up as far as you're seeing a little more hard contact in recent games. And I think he is ready to break out. I'm actually less concerned with Muncy than I am Mookie Betts because of the fact that I expected Mookie to be a little healthier at this stage. And I think that really when it comes to Max Muncy, he's going to be just fine. I think that he's going to be MASH Muncy. You'll see 25 to 32 home runs from him at some point this season.
I think the thing for me is the fact that he had said, hey, there's a good chance my elbow's not 100% healthy till 2023. So that's always encouraging to know that he is still not going to be entirely healthy for this whole season, especially for a player who are generally optimistic about their health concerns, about their injuries and where they're at. So not great for me. Next up, keeping on the negativity vein because we love it here. Walker Buehler, he's been called the ace of the staff. It was kind of ceremoniously handed off to him this year when he got the opening day nod over Clayton Kershaw. Not that necessarily means anything, but sometimes it means something. Sometimes it does. So my question to you, Clint, little controversial, and that's why I'm starting with you on this one because I feel like you're going to have some good opinions on this. Have we seen Walker Buehler's peak as a pitcher already, and did we in the general sense as Dodger fans collectively overrate his talent?
I would say that we've seen the best of his thrower era. He's trying to learn to become a pitcher, to get innings, to get early outs, to get through a game, to be that 7-8 inning guy, get some wins, which are very important to some people out there. The thrower era, probably dead. He's trying to become a pitcher. So depends on what you think of his peak because we've seen some late bloomers in this league. We've seen this late bloomers in this game. He was an early bloomer, and now he's blooming into a new guy. So I guess that's my non-answer. I think we've seen the peak of that era of Walker Buehler, and we're waiting for the new one, the new birth of Walker Buehler. So watch him get born here on Dodgers Nation TV.
It's a sturdy fence that you're sitting on over there.
Yes,
it's a sturdy fence. Eric, same question to you. Do you think we have collectively overrated him? Have we seen him at his best already?
Hell no. Hell no. Walker Buehler's going to win a Cy Young.
Family show.
The guy is dynamite. It's a family show. I've watched your guys' show. Anyway. Look, he's working it out. He's figuring out it's 2 bad starts. And like Clint said, the strikeouts per 9 is down. He's not trying to strike everybody out. Maybe he swung too far into pitching to contact and try to induce soft contact. But Walker Buehler's an absolute stud. The playoff resume for me is what, helps me sleep at night knowing he had 2 bad starts. The guy can absolutely deliver when he needs to. It's all started back with that game 163 against the Rockies, and that was kind of Walker Buehler's coming out party. He's going to be a stud still. I have absolutely zero concerns about Walker Buehler.
3 starts. He just needs his control back.
So apparently he's getting a Cy Young. You heard it here first. You heard it from Eric.
In his career. Didn't say
I've very much been on board of the Walker Buehler will have a couple different Cy Youngs in his trophy case at home when his career is over with. So I'm hoping that this season has not proven me wrong and we have not seen his downslide.
Doug has one.
Yeah, I think last night we did the post-game show, and when it comes to Walker Buehler, like you said, just 3 starts, 15 2/3 innings. Last year, just one of 4 pitchers to pitch over 200 innings in a season, led all of Major League Baseball with 33 starts. So coming off that season where his usage was at an all-time high, I think that early on you're seeing the velos down. It's a little over like 94.5 miles per hour.
Oh, no.
If you look at
Only?
But when he's at his best is when he's confident in his heater. You saw last night, he's just not confident with his heater and the command of his heater in the zone. The cutter, nice swing and miss with the cutter last night, but you're not seeing him generate the punch outs, a sub 20K percentage on the season. The fastball velo, the fastball spin, all of it's down across the board, and the fastball usage. So it also tells you that. Now, like you said, I do like the evolution of Walker Buehler as far as how he's evolved and being more of an outs getter. You're seeing less fly ball outs, him just trying to be that outs getter. He said early in his career, that's my thing, getting the punchies. But at this point, it's about just going out there, executing pitches. And I think that last night, kind of the big telling thing was, I mean, you saw the at-bat with Ozuna, with Ozuna where he kind of throws the fastball high, Ozuna kind of fouls it off, he gives him that look. The old Walker Buehler, he's throwing that heater the very next pitch and trying to get him out. He'll live with the home run. I think one of my theories is gas prices are so high, maybe butane, not as much gas in the tank, but like you said, it's still very early, still building up, and still kind of learning how to pitch differently with a little bit of a diminished velocity. And let me look at these numbers. I mean, I think the X slug is at like 1,094 right now, the average against his fastball. But
it's about the control, man. Watch the catchers, how much the catchers are moving to catch his pitches. There's your problem. When you start to see that dial in a little bit more, next 3, 4, 5 starts, he'll be good. Maybe not Cy Young worthy, but
no blister so far. I mean,
no
that's a benefit, and we don't have to deal with the glue on his finger and the controversy that follows that. So I'm really happy about that.
He's got the Rich Hill Bengay going.
He does, yeah. He's good.
That's Rich Fix.
Rich Fix. However, he's not as upset and angry in his post-game interviews anymore right now. I thought last night he was going to go off on somebody, and he was very calm, cool, collected. It was a bad game. Move on. And I was like, maybe we've seen his evolution in personality. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why he's not pitching so well. He's got to be angry.
We've seen some evolution out there in spring training, but
yeah, we'll see. Finally, let's end it on a good note. We got all this negativity going. I'm going to end it positive. I never do that. It's not my thing. I don't really do it very well. Let's end it on a good note. Out of this Dodger bullpen specifically this year, I'm not talking anything else except bullpen right now. Is there a standout player for you so far? Who is it? Why do you like him? I'm going to lead it off because I would have gone one of 2 directions here. I was going to go Tyler Anderson, but you guys know that I view Tyler Anderson as a starter. I think he's going to start more games this year than he actually pitches out of the bullpen. Well, that's my belief because
Heaney's out now.
Heaney is out, so Tyler Anderson has a good chance, but also the rotation gets banged up pretty often throughout the year, so I would expect him to get a lot of starts. But I don't recognize him as a reliever, so I am going to go Evan Phillips because when I was in the Dodger clubhouse the other day, I walked past Evan Phillips and had no idea who he was. He was wearing cargo shorts and flip-flops, and I was like,
so you're taking the
who's that guy?
Dude, shout out to cargo shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, it's very
incredible. It's an incredible
if
combo.
He had short,
his walks, just not to deal him out.
If he had short hair or longer hair, I would have been like, hey, Eric's in here. That's pretty cool. Walked past him, had no idea who he was until I looked up at his locker, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's Evan Phillips. My bad.
So your guy.
When we were at spring training, yeah, absolutely. When we were at spring training, I remember Andrew Friedman saying, hey, try out the cutter now, when he was standing behind the plate watching him pitch. And I was like, oh, he added a cutter? Like, that's interesting. He has thrown it this year, has not allowed a hit off of it, has not allowed contact off of it whatsoever. That four-seam fastball and slider combination works really well for him, but mixing in that cutter has been phenomenal. His expected ERA is much lower than his actual ERA, which is sitting somewhere around 3 at 5+ innings pitched. Doesn't really matter at this point. Already struck out 5. I like his stuff. Induces soft contact. Got that Andrew Friedman really likes different arm angle looks, different slots, different deliveries, and that's the guy for him. And I think that he's going to have a really big year. I do think that they are going to severely underutilize him this year because that's just what they do.
Because he's going to be one of the first dudes that gets sent down when the roster cut happens and when they need Tommy Kahnle back or Caleb Ferguson back or Victor Gonzalez. They want to give him a shot at the big league level.
Victor's alive. I forgot. Yeah. You know what, Clint? You're talking already. Let's just go with you. Who's up?
Oh, it's my guy. That's the legend. It's my best friend.
Jake Lamb?
No, Dan Hudson. He's getting it done. He's
Shoving.
just out
Not
there.
Gratterall.
He's just hucking the ball, and I love to watch Dan Hudson just huck the ball because when he throws it, it looks like a dude who has no idea where it's going. It's kind of like watching you throw office baseball, man.
Or Joe Kelly.
Or Joe Kelly. You know, he's in there. He's just throwing. He's about to. You never know if he's going to slip out and eat shit on the mound. Family show, but that's my guy, Dan Hudson.
We'll hit the bleep button for it. Don't worry about it. Eric, who do you have? Who's your standout? Who do you love?
Well, I love you.
Thank you.
But as far as Dodger relievers go, not a big Darvish guy. But I'm going to say this is overreactionary because he just had a nice outing last night. Runners on the corners didn't let any of them in. I'm going to go David Price. He's actually looked pitcherish this year so far. I think a lot of that's based on expectations, right? No one expects David Price to really be a big member of this bullpen, but I was impressed last night with how he handled that Braves situation. So I'm going to go David Price. I wasn't going to go Tyler Anderson, but you told me my answer wasn't allowed, so I can't give you Tyler
Anderson. My answer was that wasn't allowed for me. I will say, however, that the YouTube comments as I speak right now are lighting you up with the David Price pick, more than likely.
Oh, for sure.
So shout out to you for that. Thanks for getting the community tab going. Doug, wrap us up. Finish us off, as it were. Who's your guy?
Well, you took my guy. I was going to say Evan Phillips. Then I was going to do Daniel Hudson, but I'll take Craig Kimbrell. Craig Kimbrell hasn't had tons of opportunities yet to really kind of make his stamp and hasn't been put in too many high leverage situations to get those saves. A lot of that's because of this Dodgers offense. This potent Dodgers offense really has made it easy for Craig Kimbrell. But we saw the game I was at where against Moustakas, he falls behind on a 3-0 count, works his way back, and as long as he has the feel for that breaking ball, I just love the combination of his curveball and his fastball. If you look at the velocity of his fastball, still hitting 97, I think from a game-to-game basis, you can trust his stuff better than you can trust Kenley Jansen's stuff, because you're gonna get good Kenley, there's no question about it, but when you get bad Kenley, he's walking guys, that cutter's a little flat, he's missing with his slider, but with Craig Kimbrell, I think you're gonna get more consistency. He loves that role coming out. I saw you on Twitter talking about the sweet child of mine and how it was a vibe. I was there too. I was like, look, it's a different vibe, but I was feeling it, and just seeing a guy that has a Hall of Fame resume potentially be the new Dodgers closer. I think that just early on this season, filling the shoes of Kenley Jansen, the way he's kind of made it look seamless. I'm going to go with Craig Kimbrell. I mean, this to me in Dodger blue, it looks cool. Other uniforms, wasn't a big fan, but in Dodger blue, I'm feeling it.
Everything looks better in Dodger blue. However, I will say, Sweet Child of Mine did just make me think of the Step Brothers scene when they're driving in the car singing it. So a little tough for me to absorb after I realized that. I think I ruined it for a lot of people, so I apologize. Daniel. But guys, I appreciate you for being here with us. Thank all three of you. I know you guys got a lot to do. You're very busy. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Really helps out the channel, Doug, does it not?
Really helps out the channel.
Really helps out the channel.
Mash
the like button.
Hit that notification
Tune
bell.
into all of Doug's post games throughout the course of the year. Tune into the Blue Heaven podcast. We're doing it every Monday. Tune into 3 Up, 3 Down. Eric is a beautiful face on there. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you at next week's Roundtable.